Hey guys, it's your boy Larsen here. Today I wanna talk to you about how you can make some really good money about a week into the league. Maybe a little bit later, maybe a little bit earlier, but for this scenario I wanna say your atlas is gonna be almost completed, maybe a little bit less than 164. You might not have full awaken, but you can have your atlas mostly completed. You want to have at least path not taken, I think, and you wanna start to unlock all of the main passives. For me, that should be any person's focus to unlock your atlas bonuses, which just means complete the map one time while they're out probably or transmuted, and then do all the maven witnesses so you can unlock the passives. This is very, very important. And this is why I'm setting this timestamp about 1 week into the league. Most people should be able to have a good atlas clearing, and the reason for that is you unlock your map device mods per atlas bonus objective, right? So for this one you need quite a bit, and etc, etc. But some of the early ones can be really, really good. We don't know the ones for this league yet, but for example this league, if you want to spam essence farm, it would be really good money. Breach in urethane, harvest, heist, all of it is good stuff, right? So that's really, really important to do. But I want to talk to you about what I did this league, and it worked extremely well for me. It was I actually never ran harvest on the map device, but I would run Hayward Camlet with all the harvest passives, and I would get a lot of natural harvest. I would run my Santa missions with here, and I would try to look for harvest in the map device, and if there wasn't harvest I would choose the guardian mods. But you need to buy some bases for harvest to be good. And what is insane money early league is not necessarily all this, but it's cluster jewels. One thing people always need early wipe is cluster jewels. Every build need, I don't know, at least 4 medium and 2 large, and some builds way more than that, right? So cluster jewels is insanely well good way to make money. So I recommend to watch my harvest video. I've opened a lot of stuff here, but I've made a harvest video, and I've made an entire cheat sheet video, which would be this one, where it shows you what all the different bases do and some other useful things that people might not have known about. This is the biggest one. I can't tell you exactly what body armors is going to be good in this upcoming league, but one thing that's extremely common in harvest is change colors to blue and red, or blue and green, and blue and red, you know what I mean? It has chance of getting 2, and some chests you can get big off colors. For example, Brisk Grab is the hollow palmer chest. It needs a lot of off colors. Iris Spite, Iris Demise, whatever it's called, Chevrons, Impulse Assets. You just have to look into what builds are meta and try to find out what could be big money. Because this is super common, and if you can afford the bases and color the 6 things correctly, you make at least 2x in profit every time you hit one, and they're not hard to hit with the harvest crafting. But there's so many chests, and we don't know what is going to be the most popular build set, so I want to leave this one for you to figure out. There's a lot of options. It's not like only 1 or 2 chests. So figure that one out, and you're going to get really good money from recoloring chests. But I have a cheat sheet here, and just every cluster jewel is going to be good. Again, these were the most popular one for this league. If something changes, it might be good to try and look it up, right? A good way to look up what popular builds are is simply by just going to Peewee Ninja, going to builds. Here you can see what's the most played skills are. You just click it, you can check what body armor they're using. Doesn't need off colors. You can see what the clusters are doing. And if you check the top 5 skills here, you're gonna know what cluster jewels are gonna be good. So it's pretty easy to figure out which ones are the best ones, but all of these were really, really good. So once you get some harvest going and rerolling cluster jewels, that is insane money. Now, one thing there's a race for, I want to say, I think it was good for me for about a week and a half, was it doesn't require anything else than you get these 2 nodes, which are the Metamorph nodes, and you found the heck out of Metamorphs. So one thing that's really, really funny is everybody needs their catalyst early on in the wipe, and normally Prismatic Catalyst and Fertile Catalyst are the 2 expensive ones, which is mana modifiers and resistance modifiers. But these actually don't really change. They stay the same throughout the entire wipe. They stay roughly around 10c per the entire wipe. What's crazy about Metamorph farming is most of these other ones are like half a C now to 1c now. But within the first week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, most of these are 2 to 3C per. And when you run your Metamorphs in the Lexijoris, I think I was making at least 20C average per map minimum, but probably on average like 30C. If I ran 100 maps, I'll make 30C a map just from Metamorph samples from Catalyst. It's crazy. And if you run good maps, I had favorites Beach here. I love running Beach. Beach is somewhere. It's here. Beach or Buck are like really fast map, but I had favorite Beach in my tier 16s. And it was actually crazy how much money you make from Catalyst. But it's a market that goes down fast, because what makes you good money? I mean, this is gonna be okay. It's gonna be stable, but as long as all these small ones are worth a lot, you just rake in the money. It's crazy. I want to jump on the Metamorph train as soon as possible if you have a build that's capable of farming them. And all you need is just to run a Metamorph Scarab. It doesn't matter what tier really. You just need to grab some rusted Metamorph Scarabs or some polished, usually around the same price early on, and then go to town. I cannot stress enough how OP Catalyst is. And a third one is obviously Harbinger is going to be completely dead. Chris Wilson already mentioned that this was a mistake by the team and they're going to remove it. But June missions and Waldo's Rest was what I made the most money from this entire vibe and this entire league. I would recommend you learn how to understand the June missions. I've made 2 videos on it. I have one to set up the Betrayal board and just like roughly what everything is, and I've made a cheat sheet as well, like what you should be looking for. So I have a video explaining what to look for and how to set it up. Both of those might help you with setting up your June missions. And ultimately what I did this league was I favored Cemetery and Haywork because I like the passives here. I took Harvest, I took Essences, I think. These are not my final ones, but I took this and it was good money. Or you can swap around a bit, but Harvest, Essences, a Harvest Ritual is going to give you really good money here. And when you're on Cemetery, you have a chance of that. In Waldos, I took Canyons because I love running my June missions there together with the Metamorph. I did Harpies, but it's kind of busted now, so we might have to do Blighted maps. Blighted maps are really good as well. And I did Lexijoris, so I had tier 16 Beach, tier 14 Cemetery, and tier 15 Canyon. And in the beginning, there's not many maps for sale, so I could just run all my tier 14s, then all my tier 15s, and all my tier 16s. And when you run 3 zones with the tier 14 favorite, tier 15 favorite, and tier 16 favorite, then you could sustain the maps and run those 3 zones. It's almost impossible to sustain just 1 zone, which is why I chose 3 zones with 3 maps that I enjoyed in like areas where there is good Maven passives. On top of that, this might change a little bit. These were my 3 favorite ones now, but June's is obviously gonna be insane. Metamorph is obviously gonna be insane. Harvest crafting is gonna be really good for making just everything I explained. But especially the cluster jewels are the biggest part. Now, one thing that could make or break it is if we get Legion on the Sana map mod device, which we don't know just yet, then Vestir is gonna be number 1, right? But you still want to run your master missions and take care of some of the other things. But if you get Legion, this is gonna be so good. New Vestir is crazy for that kind of stuff, but it all just comes down to the map devices. But all these 3 zones I ran independently of what master or Sana map mod device we had, and they're gonna be really good in this upcoming league too. I just wanna stress on the importance on clearing your atlas, getting your objectives up. The way you unlock this favoring system, I'm just really lazy. If you just get 2 or 3, I'm happy. The way you unlock the first one is by doing all maps, I think. And then you have to do all maps and the unique maps. And then the third one, you do everything with the highest awakening bonus, right? It's just by completing maps. Once you complete all the maps in the zone, you unlock 2 slots, I think. And then the third one, you need to do all maps with awakening bonus. And that's it. So in the zones you want to run, you want to try and put the emphasis on unlocking at least 1 or 2 of these fairing slots. You want to unlock the Atlas bonus as soon as possible. And I feel like the awakening bonus just comes along when you play. And once you get higher awakening levels, once you do more maps, it kind of comes by itself. It's not something I stress on doing super hard. It just kind of comes, and then if you want to take 1 day and do it, it comes. But it's not super important early on. I also want to say that here in the end, that there are a lot of ways to make money. I think crafting is probably the best way to make money, but I want to make money in a way that I go into maps, I kill monsters, I feel like I'm progressing. If I evolve my money making methods around just sitting in my hideout all day, I'm of a brain where it's like, if I discover a way to be more efficient than playing maps, then I will never play maps again. And that's why I stay away from doing all these money making methods in the hideout. I think it's fun to go into maps, to progress, make builds that are good for defeating maps and things like that. So I do acknowledge that there are strategies that might suit you better, but I don't like them, so I don't want to talk about them. That's the gist of it, right? I don't want to be a hideout warrior. I play this game as if the hideout is lava, and that's the way I enjoy playing it. If you enjoy it in another way, you think there's other methods that are better, that's totally fine. I acknowledge they're there, but they're not for me. So I'll leave a link to these 3 videos. I'll leave a link to these cheat sheets, and guys, kill Metamorphs early on. Kill Metamorphs, Scarabs, and Luxurious with these 2 nodes. Trust me, it's wild. It's wildly insane. Favorite maps that you like and zones that have good Maven passives, and you're gonna be really rich really fast. It's not super hard. My number 1 advice with making currency: find things that you think your build is good for. Your build you think you can find fun. So find zones that are good, maps that are good, and have fun that way. It's a video game. The more you play, the more you're gonna make. All right, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic league start, and I hope you guys farm some mirrors, man. It's not that hard once you get it all set up. I believe in you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.